It's time for a lot of plans to be put in motion this week.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff will happen.
Swords are involved.
Swords are involved.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
Yep.
Cannot deny that.
You can't.
So there you go. Hello, welcome to this week's episode of Jared Now Watch Inuyasha. It is episode number 45. I'm Jared, joined as always by Doc Al and Ladium.
Hello.
We are discussing Season 2, Episode number 18, or Episode 45, entitled Sesshomaru, Wields, Tokijin, which will happen later on in this episode.
It does actually happen, correct. We were not lied to, and this basically picks up exactly where the other one left off.
Mm-hmm. That is true. Inuyasha's he's back to his regular form. He's got Tetsusaiga, because Totosai's like, hey, I brought Tetsusaiga, here you go. How about it?
He originally was like, I'm going to wield this as a human. It didn't work.
Did not work.
Which, of course, it didn't work, because that's not how it works. And you know that, Inuyasha. You're a dummy.
But now he can wield it like a normal person.
Demon.
Or how normally he does
demon.
it.
Yes. Yay.
And then he transforms it and it's like, ka-donk!
He is very heavy.
We get British Inuyasha and he's like, oi, bruv.
Bloody heavy.
Tetsusaiga here is bloody heavy, mate. Oi, bruv. Totosai, my bruv.
Oh, no. Edit that out, please.
Nope.
Oh, no.
Stays in.
No.
But yeah, he just says it's bloody heavy, and I was like, what?
What?
I mean, this is a weird episode because they curse a lot in this episode for whatever reason.
Lots of cursing.
But yeah, he's like, hey, why is this sword heavy? And he's like, Totosai is like,
Shrug shoulders.
I did some improvements to it. It's a little bit better now.
Is Inuyasha going to be able to handle the new Tetsusaiga?
Nope. He's a little baby.
So yeah, they go to fight. They're still doing some sword stuff, and what's his face? Kaijinbo's like talking smack to Totosai, and then just blows up while mid talking smack.
His hand just like falls with the sword and then disintegrates.
Everyone's just like, huh? And they're just like, oh, I guess the sword was too evil for him. And that's that. That's the end of that fight.
Yep. Then we get the conversation about like how are we gonna make sure that no one gets around this? Like, are we gonna do a barrier? Are we going to like put some kind of like purification on it? Moroku's like, I can't even do that, man. Like,
yeah, it's too powerful for me.
And a barrier would cost money, and unfortunately, we don't have any money.
We don't have money. And Ship was like, go do one of your fake fortune-telling jobs that you do. Like, I am a legitimate businessman, I'll have you know.
I make an honest living.
Yes.
That goes into a rant about the ladies.
He's like, oh, all right, I'll go do a job, but we'll have to we'll get money from it, but also I'll need spare money on the side so I can spend time with the ladies.
The ladies.
So we probably won't get as much money as we need. And then Ship was like, just forget the ladies for once. And Moroku's like,
excuse you?
Forget the ladies?
She was like, forget the ladies.
Who do you think I am?
Oh my god. That's so offensive. I will never work for you.
So yes, that's their plan, but the plan does not come to fruition.
Yeah, Inuyasha's like, I'm not going anywhere, so like I'm just gonna sit here. And they're like, what?
Moroku goes up to Kagome and is like, hey, let's just wait around here. Eventually he'll get bored and leave, and then we can go figure something out.
If that doesn't work, then we'll just wait a day, and then you can just sit him, and I'll bonk him on the head with my staff so that he falls unconscious, and we'll just carry him away.
We'll just drag him out of here.
I was like, he has amazing hearing. He can hear all this whispering. I guarantee he can. But also, like, what is this plan?
I mean, to be fair, he seemed to not care about it if he did hear it. So
he was too busy being sad because he can't wield his sword.
He's like,
Yeah.
Sesshomaru's hanging out with Jockin,
Yep.
just doing his thing.
Who is
Coming back
One
with-
Piece again?
Yes, he's coming back with Jockin after the whole dealio with Jockin earlier in the last week's episode. Ren's hanging out by a fire, and she's like, Lord Sesshomaru. He's like, Ren, stop moving. And she's like, and then Kagura shows up out of the blue because he doesn't attack towards her. She's like, Wah! Jockin's like, she smells familiar. She smells like that thing that had the baboon cloak on and tried to give you the hand, and that sucked because that hand nearly burned your arm off, and then also got beat up by that monk. It was terrible.
I love that he had a flashback of getting beat up by Moroku.
And then Sesshomaru's just like, oh yeah, she smells like the one they call Naraku.
Yep.
This makes it like Jockin goes into this whole spiel, and Sesshomaru's like, yeah, she smells like this guy.
Yeah, he has a name,
Kagura's like, yeah, I'm basically made from Naraku, and he's like, huh, okay.
All right.
That's interesting. Anyways, what do you want? And Kagura's just like, hey, how's it going?
Hey, heard you're looking for a sword.
Hey, I heard you're looking for a sword. Inuyasha's around here. Also, the sword's probably nearby because like you want some wind to smell the dude that was on it. All right, here you go. Whoosh. Anyways, see you later. I gotta go go fly on my feather.
She just like
Smell you later.
nopes out.
Sesshomaru's like afterwards, just like staring there. Is like, the heck was that?
Okay.
And then he like looks behind him and sees Ren. Is like, oh right, she's gonna stay like that if I don't say anything.
You can move
It's like,
again.
hey, you can move now. She's like, aha.
God.
Oh man. Yeah. Things are happening. Earlier in the episode, Inuyasha beats up Totosai because Totosai is just like,
Hey, I know a good way for you to be able to wield the Tetsusaiga now.
and they just like stare at each other, and then Inuyasha's like, you're not gonna tell me that I just need to get my strength up, are you? He's like,
Oh no.
and then Inuyasha just bonks him.
Totosai basically get good at Inuyasha.
Yes. He also tells him that Tetsusaiga originally was
It was made from his father's fang, so you had to rely on the strength of your father. And now it's made of your fangs, and now you have to learn to embrace and protect yourself and learn how to deal with your own strength and everything. So now that's how you're going to be able to wield the Tetsusaiga properly.
He also calls him a goblin.
You're a goblin. Hey, I saw you were a human, then you were also a goblin. Real weird.
and he's like, I'm a demon. This is after they're trying to figure out if they should tell Inuyasha about the demon thing, about the sword and everything, because Moroku is very upset about this. Not Moroku. What's his face? The Flea Man.
Oh, Myoga.
Myogo, yes, Lord Inuyasha. He's very dumb and stupid, so he'll just leave his sword anywhere and just leave it, and then his demon form will come out, and that means we're gonna be in trouble because his demon form is gonna come back out, and we don't want that. So we've got to prevent that. Also, you shouldn't tell him because he's an idiot, and he'll just be like, "Oh, forget the sword. I want to become a demon," and that's a dumb idea. So we don't want that to happen. And then Totosai runs down and is like,
Hey, you're a goblin.
Yep. Yep.
and then after Totosai gives him the speech, everyone comes up and is like, yes, great speech.
Yes.
I agree.
Yes.
Lovely.
Fantastic.
Fantastic. And then here comes Sesshomaru. Shoots a beam
Oh.
at them from his dragon. And
Wah.
and they're like, what's he doing here? Sesshomaru's like, hey, I came to pick up my sword. It's my sword. I commissioned it. It was mine. I really wanted it, so I came to get it. Toad's like,
Hey, don't pick that up. It's got a bunch of evil aura. It'll take you over.
and then Sesshomaru's like, you know who I am, old man? Please. And he just takes the evil aura and it's like,
Mine.
sucks it up. And then he's like, Inuyasha, we should fight because I want to test something out with my new cool sword. So basically, he wants to like force a transformation out of Inuyasha to see like what happened to him
Yep.
in the fight with Goshinki. They have a sword fight, and Inuyasha gets his butt kicked, basically. Because the
Yeah.
sword's still too heavy, and he's just like, ugh, heavy sword.
And so much language comes out. Calls him a
Calls
jag.
and a
Oh, jeez.
so mean. Eventually, the sword gets flung away by Sesshomaru, and then Inuyasha's like, oh, I'm just going to go after him with my fists. And Miyoga is just like, oh, Lord Inuyasha, you need to get the sword. This is bad. This is real bad. You need to
It's
get the
literally what
sword.
I didn't want you to do.
Inuyasha's like, buzz off. Blah.
And then, like,
So-
there's a weird sword beam thing that Sesshomaru does.
Yeah, he just shoots a laser beam at him from the sword and knocks it backwards. But that's enough to trigger the transformation.
I was like, that's really unfair.
So the transformation happens. Totosai is like, oh, this is bad. So I'm going to shoot my fire out. And he's like,
Hey, get Inuyasha. We're gonna get out of here.
so the fire barrier comes up and stops Sesshomaru in his tracks. The others get him as Kagome yells, sit at Inuyasha, so he gets bonked down to the ground.
Yep.
And they flee with him. And then Sesshomaru's there and just stands there the whole time waiting for the fire to go out. And then just like, I can't believe he made me feel fear.
The first time.
It's the first time. How dare. And then Kagura is like hanging out in the background and does her flying onto her feather thing and is like, I could use this guy to kill Naraku.
Then I could be free.
That sounds like a good idea.
I'm sure nothing will go wrong with this plan.
Probably not.
Nope.
But that's how our episode ends.
Correct.
Things are happening.
This is a very heavy sword.
It's a very heavy sword.
Heavy is the burden that Inuyasha bears.
Exactly.
Mhm.
We got some notes and differences to talk about real quick.
Okay.
The episode begins with Inuyasha in his human form on the night of the new moon. When the scene changes to Rin on the following night, the moon is nearly full. It's near impossible for the two phases to change within 24 hours.
What do you mean near impossible?
I don't know. We don't know how the old times were. Maybe the moon was just like, whoop. Just did a quick 180.
Near impossible. What wording? Oh my god.
This is the second time that Inuyasha transforms into a full demon, and it's the first time Sesshomaru witnesses it. This is also the first time Sesshomaru admits to himself that Inuyasha made him fearful, even if it was only for a moment.
He's only scared for a second.
I guess to clarify. I was only for a second, guys. Come on. No worries. Wasn't that bad. In the manga, Kagura met Sesshomaru after he fought Inuyasha and was able to locate Tokijin all by himself. In this episode, he met Kagura before he located Tokijin and was unable to on his own until Kagura told him that the sword reeked of Goshinki's aura. Also, in the manga, Sesshomaru arrived to claim Tokijin immediately after Kaijinbo's death, as opposed to a long time going by between them in this episode, which is a possible explanation as to why Kagome never uses a sacred arrow on Tokijin, though it is not explained why no one ever thinks of it before Sesshomaru arrives.
Could she have done that?
Look, her arrow thing is weird and just kind of just does whatever it wants, so
That's true. I mean, I guess she can purify things.
it wouldn't have hurt to try.
True.
And they're just like, I don't know, Morocco, do you want to figure this out?
You want to do a barrier?
You want to get the ladies?
To be fair, like, Kagome's kind of absent this episode.
Yeah, she's just like in the background, like, hello, I am here.
Holding Shippo.
I hold Shippo.
Like, she doesn't really do much this episode, so I guess I don't know. That would have made sense to at least try.
Well, I guess they couldn't have done that if they wanted like Sesshomaru to show up and absorb all the aura.
Right. I mean, like, plot wise, it makes no sense, but like, safety wise, it makes a ton of sense.
Yeah. But that is going to do it for this episode. Next time, we will be discussing episode number 46, entitled Juromaru and Kageromaru and Hanamaru and Maxwell Maru and Game Boy Maru and Al Maru and Jared Maru.
Basketball
Maru.
All the Marus.
Sesshomaru.
Yeah.
Naraku Maru.
Jack and Maru.
Inuyasha Maru. All the Marus are going to show up next episode.
Every Maru.
I want to say these Maru folks looking like real perverts.
A little soul, like I don't know, like praying mantis soul
Bone
thing.
monster.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's like the dude in Naruto who, like, his whole thing was that, like, he could make weapons from his bones. So he'd just be like, I need a sword. Let me just push out my finger bones and just make a sword out of that.
Oh God,
This is real messed up.
I don't like that.
That was some real body horror stuff in that arc.
I don't like that.
Let me let me push my ribs out so I have like a barrier around my body.
No.
Real messed up.
No.
Anyways, we got some perverts next week.
Yeah, we're gonna that aren't Moroku this time.
Surprisingly, we got the worst perverts this next week. So we'll figure all that out next time. But for now, if you'd like more from us, head on over to seasonalanimecheckup.com or sac.coolest, where you can find past episodes of this podcast and other podcasts like Seasonal Anime Checkup OVA. You can also find columns and reviews on the site as well. If you'd like more from Anladium, go to anladium.com. She's got columns and reviews. You can follow us on Twitter and TikTok at Anime Checkup. And you can buy our books, One Shiny Moment, A Critical Analysis of Love, Life, Sunshine, and Hot Tubs and Pac-Man on Amazon.com. So join us next week as some weirdos show up.
Yep.